just like coming out and supporting the show. And it just means so. What?
I haven't been recording the audio this whole time, so no podcast this week, I suppose. That's my bad. That's my bad. Man, that's Zac Efron. What a talent, huh?
Truly.
Great singer. This is amazing singing voice.
Well, he's not actually singing in the first one.
Well, I know that he's like lip singing to the audio of him singing, but I mean, his voice is great.
This isn't his voice though. In the first movie, he doesn't sing. It's another singer.
No, Braden. So they film the movie and he sings along to the song that he's already pre-recorded.
Well, yeah, sure, in the second and third one, but in the first one, it's a different singer. He doesn't actually sing in this movie. He lip syncs to another singer's voice.
Braden, think about how many movies Zac Efron sings in. Hairspray, High School Musical, High School Musical 2, High School Musical 3, Greatest Showman.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Yeah, he can sing. But in the first movie, I promise you it's a different singer. If you listen to this song and in the second song, it's a different voice.
We'll see. We'll watch this one.
Yeah.
We'll watch the next one. Maybe we'll watch the third one.
Well, what else did you think we were going to do all night?
I don't know. You know, his voice kind of sounds like Drew Seeley a little bit.
Who's that?
Everybody's always talking at me. Everybody's trying to get in my head.
Do you think that this is peak Zac Efron?
No way.
I don't know, man. Look at that.
I bet he choreographed this himself.
Yeah?
Look at that.
You think he did this in the mirror?
No, I think he didn't even practice it at all. He just went out there, one take. This was one take.
Wow.
Look at those moves, man.
Wow.
Zac Efron knows how to move.
He does.
You know, from what I hear, they actually CGI'd Zac Efron's face over Drew Shirley's body for this scene.
So you're saying that Drew Shirley danced in this movie but didn't sing. But in the first movie, Zac Efron danced but didn't sing.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, would you look at that?
Hello?
Hey, man, where are you?
Ah, man, I'm sick today.
Oh, don't yank my cord. How desperate is the situation?
Well, did you see Alien when that creature came out of that guy's stomach?
Yeah.
Kind of feels like that.
Are you kidding?
No, of course I'm not kidding. Does it sound like I'm kidding?
Is it serious?
Uh-oh.
Oh my God, are you dying?
I don't know. I hope not. I think I might need a kidney transplant.
Think you'll be around next week?
Yeah, I think I will. Excuse me.
All right, great. I'll see you then. Bye.
Welcome back to PODZILLA. We are back. We know that it's been a while, but we just had a busy couple of weeks.
You know what? Life gets in the way.
Life gets in the way.
Sometimes it happens, but it's not going to happen again until the time that it happens again.
Yeah. Life comes at you fast. If you don't stop and look around every once in a while, you might miss it.
Is that a Ferris Bueller reference?
Yeah.
We should do more Ferris Bueller references.
I know, man. What's up with that?
Wow. Anyways,
we
missed you guys.
We missed you
but
guys.
we're back.
Yes. Braden.
So much has happened.
There's so much news going on that this whole podcast episode we're just dedicating to news that's been going on.
Look, it's our jobs as podcasters to keep up with everything that's happening in pop culture, and we totally let it slip for 3 weeks. So we're going to tell you the highlights, that we missed and the highlights that have happened just this past week so that you're caught up and you can be the know-it-all in your friend group and tell your mom all about the pop culture knowledge that you have. So without further ado, let's
get into some news.
I'm stoked.
Let's just talk. Let's just talk about some pop culture.
It's good to be back in the saddle.
It's good to be back in this seat.
I got up, I sat down, I was like,
hey, man. It just feels right.
PODZILLA.
Let's talk about this, Braden. Let's talk about this. Falcon and the Winter Soldier began filming finally. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, in case you don't know, which if you don't know, how dare you, honestly. Falcon and the Winter Soldier obviously were introduced in the Captain America trilogy as well in the Avengers, as well as the Avengers movies. Falcon made an appearance in the first Ant-Man movie. They've kind of, it's kind of an interesting dynamic, right? Because Bucky Barnes, who is the Winter Soldier, was Captain America's best friend back when he was, fighting in World War II. Yeah. And now, Sam Wilson, who is the Falcon, is his modern day sidekick, best friend, partner.
Right.
And so once they're reintroduced to each other, they kind of don't get along with each other in the movies.
They get along for Steve's sake.
Right.
But you're listening to a pop culture podcast.
Right.
You know what happens. So Steve's not around anymore. Sam is the new Captain America.
So they say.
So they say. But Bucky's not. But I mean, the only time that the Avengers have ever seen Bunky, our good old Bunky Barnes.
Yeah.
The only times they have ever seen him is he's a Winter Soldier, except for like twice.
Right.
So I get why Sam is
the Falcon or Captain America.
Captain America.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: is
he's not buff enough.
No, I'm not even saying that. I think Anthony Mackie's cool. I think he's great.
Cool,
I think he could be a great Captain America. He'd be very different. But I don't hate him being Captain America.
Me either.
Here's the thing, though.
Tell me that thing.
Disney Plus is releasing a show called Falcon and the Winter Soldier, not Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Yeah. With that being said, I think what's going to happen is they're going to backtrack a little bit. There's going to be some sort of, and we said this during Endgame, that I said when we walked out of the theater, I'm calling it. They're going to make some sort of call on Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Hey, aren't you supposed to be Captain America? And he's going to say something like, oh, I'm not ready for that yet. Or something along those lines of like, I can't take up that mantle yet. I'm not ready.
He looked up to Steve so much.
Yeah.
There's no way that he can just jump into it and like, I'm Captain America.
Yeah. How can you?
Look at me go.
How can you?
No.
It's like,
I think he's going to be self-conscious, and I think that there might be a little bit of passing the torch in between the two characters.
Totally.
And maybe Bucky finding his new self past the Winter Soldier, and he is like...
I think in the MCU... Sam Wilson is going to become Captain America as much as Peter has become Iron Man, if that makes sense.
No, I get that.
Where he's always going to be the Falcon, but he's kind of taking that mantle.
And then Sony's going to take the rights back to the Falcon, and he's going to leave for a bit, and then he's going to come back,
and all that stuff. But anyway,
it's
Falcon
exciting.
and Winter Soldier has begun filming.
They have.
It's exciting.
They've also released a lot of artwork that are like character designs, and it looks really cool. But most importantly, is Baron Zemo from Civil War is coming back,
and he's got the hood.
He's got the hood, the purple hood,
which was one of my only things with
Civil War.
With Civil War was that he didn't have the hood. It just wasn't Baron Zemo. He was just a random bad guy.
But now he's got the hood. Does that make you so stoked?
Yeah, I'm stoked about that.
It makes me so
Baron
excited.
Zemo's like up there as far as Captain America villains goes. He's up there with Red Skull. He's pretty close to being like one of the big, villains.
And we finally
you got to have that like maroon purple hood that he wears.
And he's got it.
Man. So I'm excited about Falcon and Winter Soldier.
It's going to be very cool.
It's going to be cool. Which is a great segue. Let's talk a little bit about Disney Plus. Disney Plus just released
it's taken over my
2
life.
weeks ago. By the time this podcast releases, it'll have been about 2 weeks.
It's caused me to the point where I have not changed clothes for 3 weeks.
Me neither. Me neither, man. I was like, So what are you gonna do? So we're still wearing our clothes from 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
No, but Falcon and Winter Soldier's coming to Disney Plus. There's a new Lizzie McGuire coming to Disney Plus, which Gordo's coming back.
Gordo's
That's
back, baby.
Hot off the press news for us right now.
I can't make it work. I was gonna say Gorback, but I hate what just came out of my mouth.
No, don't say Gorback.
Gordo's back. Hang on. We can figure something out.
Gordo, he's back.
Gordo betcha. No. Let's move on.
Gordo's back. Gordo's back. Lizzie McGuire's back. There's a High School Musical show. There's a Jeff Goldblum where he just talks about random things.
Hey, how wacky is that guy?
That guy's pretty wacky.
He's a wacky guy.
If you haven't seen The World According to Jeff Goldblum, you guys need to check it out. If you like Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
If you moderately like Jeff Goldblum, you're going to hate it.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing.
Because he's a lot. He's a tough pill to swallow
if you
in big
only
doses.
know Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park,
he ain't that. He ain't Dr. Ian Malcolm.
No. Turn that up about 25,000 and that's Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, for sure.
Think the Grandmaster from Thor Ragnarok.
He's the Grandmaster.
Times about 1.5. Like he's a nutty guy.
He's a nut.
Man, okay,
he's a fun guy.
He's wacky, but how lovable is that guy?
He's lovable.
Wow.
Yeah, but he's got a show on Disney Plus.
Yeah, he does.
And not to mention, they have all these new shows that are coming out. They have a new Christmas movie called Noel.
Mm-hmm. Haven't watched it.
I have. It's very cute. I liked it a lot.
Cute?
It's a good little Disney movie. It's not a movie theater movie.
Okay.
It's very much a streaming movie, very much kind of a Hallmark movie.
Here's the thing. We like all of that makes sense. All those adjectives for that movie make sense.
Right.
So is Disney Plus going to be the dumping ground of like the straight to video sequels like Lion King 1.5 and Lion King 2, Lilo and Stitch 2? Is that what Disney Plus is going to be?
I think yes and no.
Okay.
Because I don't think Noel is a dumping ground movie.
Okay.
I think that it could have been a theatrical release, but it was wise to make it a Disney Plus release.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
No, absolutely.
I don't think it should have been a big release because it's very similar to movies like Elf, where she grew up in the North Pole, and then she goes. For those of you who don't know what Noel is about, Noel is basically about Santa Claus's children. After there are generations of Santa Clauses who pass down their mantle from Santa
Tim
to
Allen
his son to so on and so forth. So in this case, Bill Hader is the new Santa Claus.
I did not know that. I haven't seen a trailer or anything.
Yes. So
but
Bill Hader.
Now I really want to see it.
Anna Kendrick plays Noel. And
here's
then
the thing about
older...
Anna Kendrick. Anna Kendrick, I have no clue why in the world she has not been in a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
To this point.
This movie suits her.
She was made for a Christmas movie.
This movie suits her very well.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you're right. This movie suits her very well. So, Bill Hader plays Nick, who is obviously the older brother, and she's Noelle, who is the younger sister, who she just loves Christmas, loves everything about it. Mm-hmm. And she is, after their father passes away, Nick is to become Santa Claus, and he's just... he doesn't feel it clicking.
He's
right?
not up for the task.
He just doesn't, he's just not getting it. Like there are certain aspects of becoming Santa Claus that just aren't him innately. So he's having a hard time. So Noelle suggests to him to go take a break, go take a weekend, and just kind of get away, clear your head, and that results in Nick just disappearing.
Okay, yeah. So if I were in Nick's shoes, and I just grew up in the North Pole, and I'm not up for the task of being Santa Claus,
right?
If I have like a vacation,
where are you going?
I'd go straight to like, I don't know, Hawaii, and just whenever I'm in Hawaii, I'm just there, and I just don't go back. I say bye, and I just stay there, Because here's the thing about Santa Claus: who would want to be Santa Claus? Because here's the thing about Christmas: everybody's excited about Christmas because you get to be with family and you get to like give and receive gifts. I'm not gonna lie, I love receiving gifts. Mm-hmm. If you for our Christmas episode, if you bring me a gift, I would love it so much.
Well, you got it.
I'm ending that you should bring me a gift. Okay. Anyways. Who would want to be Santa Claus during Christmas time? You've got to work.
I'll tell you.
Through Christmas.
I'll tell you who wants to be Santa Claus. Maybe Noelle does.
Maybe Noelle
But she doesn't.
Oh, she doesn't.
No, she doesn't want to be Santa Claus.
Because who would want to be Santa Claus?
It's a tough gig. So, much like you, Nick, Bill Hader's character, decides he's going to take a break. He disappears. So Noelle goes to find him.
Yep.
So that's what the movie's about. Okay. It's a cute movie. It's pretty predictable. It's a lot like Elf.
Does he go to Hawaii?
No.
Okay. I was about to say, is it that predictable?
No, but you're on the right track.
Okay.
You're on the right track.
It sounds cute. It sounds like a good Christmas movie.
It's very much, but like I said, it's a lot like Elf, like where she goes to civilization and she doesn't understand money. She doesn't understand, anything. She doesn't. She's lived in the North Pole, so she doesn't even understand proper skincare. So she starts getting sunburnt because she's in a different environment.
What a cute thing to have.
Yeah. So it's cute.
I'm excited to watch it.
So check out Noelle. It was cute.
Yeah.
It was a cute movie. Definitely a good Disney Plus movie. But
okay. Speaking of good Disney Plus movies and what should have been released on a streaming service, let's talk about Terminator Dark Fate.
Yeah.
Because that budget was $200 million. And it's a fair thing to say whenever you make a movie for $200 million, you need to double that budget for marketing.
Right.
To pay to have commercials, YouTube ads, blah, 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 marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say fairly, this movie cost $300 million to make. Let's be fair.
Right.
It made $200 million worldwide. So it's a massive flop. So it's negative $100 million so far as of when this episode, as of when we are recording.
Yeah.
What?
And we've talked about it too. If this Terminator movie didn't work, then they need to just stop with the Terminator
Well, here's
movies.
the thing about that. Everybody's saying, like, if this doesn't work, just stop making them. We run a pop culture podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Is it fair to say that the Terminator franchise is pop culture?
Yes.
Did you see the movie?
No.
Me either.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I know.
Is it already dead? Did Genesis kill it?
It's been dead.
It's dead,
It's
right?
been dead since before Christian Bale was part of the movies.
I agree. It's just...
It should have been dead after Terminator 2. If it had just been Terminator and T2,
so
that's
here's a good question for you. If there was not Terminator 3, Terminator Salvation, Terminator Genesis, if it was just Terminator 1 and Terminator 2, would you see Dark Fate? Would
yes.
It would be
we
so
all would.
cool. Yeah.
And it might actually be successful. The thing is, at this point, with movies like the Terminator franchise, is that they were on a gradual decline and they just kept going down.
Yeah.
So once they got to this movie, nobody cares to see it. And the thing is, too, the star power that was in it in the first two movies isn't star power anymore.
Right.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is not going to have a big pull anymore unless he's in a movie like Expendables.
I love those movies.
Right, but I'm saying unless he's in a movie that has a lot of his kind of characters. I mean, Sarah Connor and bringing back the original John Connor, like that's cool, but they're not like hot ticket
You're right.
people anymore.
You're right. But I feel like if this Terminator franchise was not done to death, we're going to make a third one. We're going to reboot it. We're going to do another one. We're going to reboot it.
Right.
And now this one's going to be a sequel to the second one and just ignore all the other ones. It is already in a grave and it can't dig itself out. And will I see this movie eventually? Yes.
Yeah.
But obviously, even though we both do a pop culture podcast, neither one of us really wants to go see it. So I kind of feel bad that it's dead, but also you did it to yourself, maybe.
Yeah.
So
I think so. And I mean, yeah, there just wasn't much. There wasn't much there to begin with. And again, and it's a very similar thing that we're going through with a lot of movies right now, where it's like nobody asked for this.
Yeah.
It's nothing against the franchise. It's nothing against James Cameron wrote this movie. It's nothing against James Cameron or Arnold Schwarzenegger or anyone else who's in the movie, Linda Hamilton or whoever.
I'm excited she's back.
Yeah, it's nothing against any of them. It's just that no one asked for this movie.
Here's what's so tragic about it is Linda Hamilton, who plays Sarah Connor, looks like she's done nothing but do pull-ups, push-ups, and smoke cigarettes for the past 30 years.
Right.
Which is exactly what I want Sarah Connor to look like.
Right.
But I still didn't go to see it.
Right.
You know, it's just...
No one did, apparently. And it doesn't have that bad of a rating on IMDb. It's got a 6.5 on IMDb, and it'll probably sit there forever. That's not a horrible rating.
It's not. It's worth a watch. Like, I will watch it.
Sure. But, yeah, like you said,
it didn't have that draw.
It didn't have that draw. And there's a whole generational gap who just doesn't care about Terminator anymore.
Speaking of generational gaps, speaking of things that should remain dead, there's a little thing called HBO Max that's coming out. It's another streaming service from HBO. So here's the thing. HBO had HBO in the beginning. And then they went to HBO Go, which was the portable thing. And then they had HBO Now, which was a slightly different version of HBO Go. And now they're going to HBO Max, which is a slightly different version of HBO. Because now HBO is not going to be a specific streaming service that only has original shows like Game of Thrones, The Wire, True Detective, Westworld, big ticket things. They're going to have an even smaller market where they'll have HBO Max originals. And
Why?
in those originals is a Friends reunion.
Who cares?
But
Friends sucks.
I don't like Friends.
Me neither. Friends isn't good. And it hasn't. Okay, I won't say it sucks. It doesn't suck. It's got fun moments. It's got great characters.
You respect what it did for the sitcom genre,
but it doesn't hold up well.
It doesn't
at all.
And the thing is, my wife loves it. That's her laying in bed unwind show.
It's not funny.
I don't understand it. Like, we've been together for 5 years, and I'm just so over Friends. I've seen the whole thing. I've seen every episode. I know which ones are funny, but do you want to see a reunion?
No, and that's the thing is this is going to be something that once they do this Friends reunion, it's not going to be good because Friends doesn't hold up well.
I don't even want to see it.
So
maybe we won't see it. What if we just don't watch it?
We probably won't, and I'd say that there's a big chunk of the country who's not going to see it.
Here's the thing. Let us know in the comments.
I'm going to get a lot of hate for saying that Friends is awful, but I don't care because it's not good.
It is the definitive statement of Podzilla that High School Musical is a classic. It is the favorite movie of this show. But
that's canon, yeah.
Friends can go die in a hole.
Whoa, you're getting crazy.
It might just be because I've seen the whole thing multiple times when I've been forced to, and I just don't want to see anything else.
Listen, Friends is like I said, it's not horrible. I don't think it's terrible. I just don't think it holds up well, and I don't think a reunion is going to be what the fans want it to be. It's not. Because it's just not.
We're gonna get dislikes on this, I think.
Well, that's a bummer. But listen, Friends. If you like Friends, that's awesome. But if you take off the rose-colored glasses and just watch an episode and think about each character as an individual person and what they want in life and what their motivations are in life, and they're all trash bag people. They're all really bad people who are very focused on themselves and very selfish and really only care about hooking up with people.
Yeah.
And except for Joey, who cares about hooking up with people and food. So
here's the thing about that. If you want to strip it down to that and how they're just actual, like, not great people,
right?
Just watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Right.
Because they're scumbags, but they know they're scumbags.
Right.
It's just a better version of Friends.
Right, but I'm saying even in a show like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, they're scumbag people, but there are parts of their characters that you see through the cracks, right? Like, here's an example in It's Always Sunny, right? Dee is horrible. They're all horrible, but Dee, you can tell at the end of the episode that she just wants to be successful and accepted.
Yeah.
She wants to be an actress. She never got that when she was younger. She was never popular, and she just wants to be accepted.
Yeah.
Like, in Friends, they don't care if they're accepted. They all think they're the hottest people on earth.
Yeah.
They just care about hooking up with people. That's literally their only motivation.
Yeah, man.
They don't care about anything else.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So, like, even in shows like It's Always Sunny, they have a little bit of human to them. Even in shows like The Office, right? Michael, on paper or at first glance, only cares about, hooking up with people.
Yeah.
But then you see behind the curtain that he just wants a family. He just wants, something more.
So in conclusion, if you like, I'm sorry for the Friends rant that we went on. At the end of the day, Friends is a staple of sitcom. Should it come back? That's up to you. If you're excited for it, get HBO Max. But if you're not, then don't. And I'm sorry if I offended anybody.
Is most of the people, I'd say 90% of the people who are excited about the Friends reunion already have Disney Plus and are already excited about the Lizzie McGuire show. So
there you go. I'd rather watch Lizzie McGuire.
Me too, man.
But if you're excited for it, good for you.
Good for you.
Let us know.
Have your thing. Like, I'm not trying to take anybody's thing away. If you love Friends, you can love Friends. That's just one man's opinion.
Absolutely. It is literally just my opinion.
Right.
It is a staple. Like, I can't unstaple it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's just me.
Yeah. Let's switch gears.
Let's do it.
Sonic got a new trailer and he got a redesign.
He did.
Sonic the Hedgehog, the original trailer came out. The reviews were in that Sonic looked terrible.
He did.
And he did. He just looked scary.
Yeah.
He had weird, like, he was way too, I don't know. There's a good way to take a cartoon character and make them realistic.
Pokemon.
Yeah, Detective Pikachu's a great version. There's also a terrible way to take an animated character and make them real, like Ninja Turtles, like the animated Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
I don't think they looked good. This was kind of the same thing.
Specify which Ninja Turtles?
The Megan Fox ones.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, I don't think they looked good either.
They're scary looking.
But that's the thing is Sonic didn't look like Sonic the Hedgehog. He looked like, his body looked like the Grinch, and his ears were real small. His head was big. He had like small eyes. His teeth were like real deep in his mouth. He was a mess. He was just a mess. He had
the deepest of teeth.
Deep teeth Sonic, and he was just a mess. So there was such a backlash from fans that they took Sonic back to the editing stages,
which is
pushed back his release date 6 months so that they could reanimate the entire movie with a new Sonic. The new Sonic has come out, and he looks great.
He does. He looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks like
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah. And he's cute.
Yeah.
He really is. But here's the thing for me, and I don't know anything about how much this movie cost to make. Right. I don't know how much the re-editing, I guess not reshoots, the re-editing. I don't know.
Reanimating for sure.
I have no clue how much that cost.
Yeah.
But I don't think this movie would have made its budget back in the beginning. And now they reanimated everything. And now they're having to remarket everything. So do you think it's going to come even close to what that budget was?
I think it will for one reason.
Okay.
And that is because they redid it.
Because they redid it to
people
please
are going to go
fans.
see it because of that.
I respect that they did that.
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't have seen it in the theater beforehand, but now I want to just because it's like, man, they really care about doing it right. Jeff Fowler, who's directing the movie, tweeted out, like, we hear you. We want to make this the best movie it can be. Like, we're taking it back. And they pushed it back to February. Yeah. And Sonic looks great now. He looks adorable. He looks like Sonic the Hedgehog.
He looks like Sonic. I think that families are finally going to be excited for it. I personally, if I didn't have this podcast, I probably never would have seen it. But
right.
I respect what they did. I respect what they did, and I respect where they went with it.
Yeah, they put in a lot of work trying to make it good for the fans, and that says a lot. That's
and
really
I think it's kind of refreshing to see Jim Carrey just be Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
I don't know. I honestly don't know how to take it because
it's the last time he played a villain when he was the Riddler.
I don't know, but is it bad that he looks like he's better in this role than he was in the Riddler?
No, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, but I think it's intriguing.
He's Dr. Eggman. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. There was also, have you seen the new trailer for the new Scooby-Doo movie?
I have.
Scoob. I'm not on board with this. I love Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
I love Scooby-Doo. The reason I'm not on board, Matthew Lillard. Matthew Lillard played Shaggy in the original live-action Scooby-Doo movies. Yeah. He then replaced Casey Kasem as the voice of Shaggy for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
And he's not Shaggy in this movie.
Who is it? It's the guy from SNL.
Yeah, Will Forte. It's Will Forte, Zac Efron, who is obviously America's gem, is Fred. Amanda Seyfried is Daphne.
Here's the reason why they did it.
It's just a mess.
What's his name again?
Who?
Shaggy from the live action movies.
Oh, Matthew Lillard.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's that?
Who is Matthew Lillard?
Right.
He's Shaggy.
I know. In the live action movies, he's Shaggy, and I see him. And then I like, whenever you grow up and you maybe one day watch Scream, he's in Scream. And I'm like, oh, it's Shaggy. Check it out.
Sure.
But here's the whole point why they didn't. And I agree with you. He should have been, because I would have Googled him and like, oh, cool. Here's why they didn't, is because they had Zac Efron as Fred, and they had Amanda Seyfried as Daphne. But who is Shaggy? Matthew.
The thing is, though, if you go back to any post about this movie and go to the comments, I guarantee you in the top 3, someone's going to say, why isn't Matthew Lillard Shaggy?
I get it. I get it.
Because that's an actual character voice.
I get it. Yeah.
You know, that's like someone saying, like, they didn't recast Scooby-Doo. Like, they didn't have Vin Diesel do Scooby-Doo's voice, you know? Just because he's...
That's another thing, like Baby Yoda from The Mandalorian. I didn't know I wanted that until I wanted that.
But that's what I'm saying is that I think that this dude has, like, more so than a lot of people, he's dedicated like a lot of his life. There was only one guy that did his voice from the initial Scooby-Doo all the way up until this point, really. There were a couple guys here and there, but you had Casey Kasem, and then after he passed, Matthew Lillard took it on. For the last 20 years, he's been this character.
Yeah.
And apparently, he didn't find out about this movie until he saw it on Twitter. They didn't even tell him, like, hey, you're not going to be Shaggy in this movie. He didn't even know this movie was a thing.
That's not cool, actually.
That might be hearsay.
You know what?
That might be hearsay. But I'm just saying.
Look, hearsay or not, it made me mad.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a bummer.
I agree with you. In the end, I do agree with you. But the reason, I'm telling you the exact reason.
I get the reason.
They
it's
wanted
for the star
name.
power.
They wanted the name because you've got all those star power names, and then you've got Matthew Lillard. And this was not aimed towards children. It was aimed towards parents. Like, that actually has some firepower. I would like to see that.
Who cares in an animated movie anymore? 20 years ago, who did the voice? Like, who did the voice of Aladdin? What's his name? Who did the voice of, any of the characters? Who did the voice of Milo in Atlantis? Exactly.
Oh, Matthew J. Fox.
Okay, that's fair. He did a lot of voices though. But you know what I'm saying?
No, I 100% agree with you.
Who did the voice of, Belle? Who did the voice? Like, I don't like that animated movies now. Like, you have to have Kristen Bell in Frozen is great.
Yeah.
Like,
who knew Idina Menzel before she was? I
did. She's in Wicked, but.
Well, yeah, but like to me, I never saw Wicked until she was after she was in she was gone. I saw Wicked after she was
right. I'm just saying I don't like that animated movies because it just feels unjust to me. And I'll get off this soapbox, but it just feels unjust to me that this guy played Shaggy in the live action movies, and then not only
to a perfect T.
But then not only that, has done Shaggy's voice, was like passed the baton from the original, like it's yours now.
Yeah.
And then he just gets tossed to the curb.
That
agree. Bums me out, man.
I'm with you. Honestly, if they had taken the live action cast and just made them do animated voices, I would have been on board.
Yeah.
Honestly,
totally.
I would have been more on board than this.
Totally.
But also, this movie's not made for you and me.
Yeah, I know.
It's made for kids.
I know.
But also, if it's made for
kids don't know who Will Forte is.
Exactly.
They don't care.
Exactly.
Anyway. They didn't recast SpongeBob for the new SpongeBob animated movie.
Oh, man.
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Let's talk about SpongeBob. He's got a new movie, and I guess that's about it, huh?
That's about it.
All right. Let's move on.
Probably won't see that one.
Probably not.
Yeah, so this is cool. Nicolas Cage is going to star in a movie where he plays Nicolas Cage.
So this movie is basically a love letter to Nicolas Cage. They've actually said that this movie is supposed to be a love letter and not making fun of Nicolas Cage. So Nicolas Cage is rumored to be cast in a movie starring as Nicolas Cage.
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
55-year-old actor is set to star in the Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, a film that will feature Cage as a creatively unfulfilled, less rich version of himself. In the movie, Cage reluctantly accepts a $1 million offer to perform at the party of one of his superfans, who also happens to be a Mexican billionaire, reports the outlet. That's on Deadline, excuse me.
So, in this movie, Nicolas Cage is supposed to have a imaginary version of himself that is Nicolas Cage from the 90s.
That's cool.
So that is supposed to be his guy, like his subconscious. That's like,
right.
What are you doing? You're broke. You're talented, and you're just being weird and stupid. And you're
that was his golden era. Was Face Off and The Rock and all those
Con
movies.
Air and So, what a crazy thing to happen.
But it's like, I think it's similar to something like Being John Malkovich, where only a human who is a character in and of themselves, like a Nicolas Cage or a John Malkovich, can pull something like this off. And this could be like the role that he's remembered for.
Yeah. So this is not confirmed. He hasn't signed a deal. They're in negotiations for this. Is just what the movie is rumored to be about. What do you think? Do you hope that this happens?
I'd like to see this movie a lot.
I would love to see this movie.
I think this would be a blast.
Theatrical release, Netflix movie, Hulu, HBO Max.
This looks to me like an Amazon movie for some reason.
I get it.
like an Amazon Prime release.
Yeah.
Kind of like, I mean, maybe not Amazon Prime, but like an Amazon Studios movie. Like Honey Boy is an Amazon Studios movie.
Like a lower budget.
Yeah.
I would like for this to be a lower budget. But the thing is, like, this could honestly, as funny and as meta and as creative as it is, this could honestly be a cool thing to see Nicolas Cage like truly act in. Not overact, not be stupid and silly, but like truly like the old Nicolas Cage where he was he's a good actor and
he's a great actor.
People forget about it. He does overact at times, but he is honestly is he an Oscar winner or just nominated? I think he's just nominated.
I think he's an Oscar winner.
Is he?
I think he's won one Oscar.
Okay. Well,
let me see.
Yeah.
Yes, for Leaving Las Vegas in 1995, which was, like we said, the peak of his life.
So I think that this could be extremely entertaining and extremely like genuine in a way where he can be like, yeah, this has all been crazy and a wild ride, but I'm still a real human being.
Absolutely.
I'm very excited, and I think it could be nothing but a good time.
Absolutely. I think it's a great, like, a fun idea.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
like I said, in my mind, it's very similar to like a Birdman. It's very similar to like, that style of Birdman. Like I could see a movie like that, or even like a what's another movie?
It's a good
kind
call.
Of indie
it's
movie.
a good call because if you don't know, Birdman is about Michael Keaton, and he in the movie is only known for playing a superhero called Birdman.
Right.
And he's trying to do something genuine and real and something like, I'm not just Birdman, I'm a real actor.
Right.
Kind of like, and it mirrors his own life, like he was Batman, and after that for years, people didn't know him for anything but Batman. So and that movie was incredible. So I think that this movie, and you're right, and I hadn't thought about that until you said it, where this could be in the vein of that, and it could be an upswing in Nicolas Cage's career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's a lot going on with Zack Snyder right now. There are a lot of people who are demanding the Snyder Cut, including, but not limited to, Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot,
Jason
Momoa, who are saying, like, there's a Snyder Cut of Justice League, right?
Yeah.
That is basically the intentioned Justice League movie. And they're releasing hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Do you think that's something that's going to happen? Or do you think that we need to drop it and move along?
One day it's going to happen. I think if DC didn't have the huge, massive $1 billion success of the Joker, then they would have released it. But now DC is finally putting everything that didn't work behind them and doing something like the Joker.
Yeah.
And we'll see how Birds of Prey plays out. I don't think it looks that great.
Right.
But we'll see how it plays out. I'll still see it. I would still love for the DC universe to be good. But I think that they're on the right track as of late, and they're not going to go back to what didn't work. But here's another thing. The other side of it is Justice League was not good to me. It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't, but we'd seen that movie before.
Yeah, and here's the thing. You've got and all of this has been said a million times because this movie's 2 years old, so I'm going to keep it brief. You have the most iconic group of characters that have ever been put to paper.
Absolutely.
Ever.
Absolutely.
I don't care what you say. They are more iconic than the Marvel team.
Yes, I agree.
And then you make an okay movie.
Yep.
So if you have anything that's remotely better than that movie, let's just see it.
Yeah, why not?
I want to see it.
Why not?
Yeah. So to me, I would love to see it.
Yeah. But with that being said, too, Henry Cavill said recently that there's still things in the Superman franchise that he's not done with Superman yet.
Yeah.
That there's no confirmation of that. That means nothing coming from Henry Cavill's mouth. He has no choice in the matter.
Right.
Like Christian Bale, even a couple weeks ago, said in an interview, like, he didn't know he wasn't Batman until he just wasn't Batman anymore. You know?
Yeah.
Like, they don't send you a formal letter and say, like, hey, like, we regret to inform you that you are no longer Bruce Wayne / Batman, or we regret to inform, we regret to inform Henry Cavill you are no longer Superman. Like, it's dog eat dog. It's Hollywood. Like,
yeah. If it doesn't work,
if you're not Superman, you're not Superman. It sucks because I think Henry Cavill could have been a great Superman.
I'm glad you said that because he was a good Superman, but he wasn't a good Clark Kent.
You're right. And he was very stiff as Clark Kent. He was very unnatural. They didn't give him a lot of time to really pull like the Christopher Reeve, like nerdy. And then too, he's just so buff that nobody buys him as a nerd just because they put glasses on Henry Cavill.
Right.
Like he's just so buff and like busting out of his shirt.
And now he's even bigger because of The Witcher. So
Henry Cavill says he doesn't want to be done as Superman. I think that's cool that he's saying that.
Yeah.
And it's fun that the fans are like, yeah, Henry Cavill's not done. We love him as Superman. But it's like, Henry Cavill has no say in the matter.
Exactly.
And that's a bummer, but...
Here's the thing with me is I would like to know if you would like to see Henry Cavill as Superman, and if so, like, is there a favorite comic book that's a good, like, Clark Kent superhero story? And I know I'm springing this on you.
Yeah, well, that's tough.
I know.
I think that if they were to allow Henry Cavill to be Superman again for a movie, they'd only have one shot at it. So, with that being said, I would say go all out. I would say go all out and potentially do Doomsday and just do like the death of Superman and let him like do a movie where it's like very emotionally focused and then he dies at the end. And it's like, well, there's your Henry Cavill, like the end of Superman. You know? I think that would be cool.
So just like...
But at the same time, they killed him off in the first Superman movie.
Right.
And then he comes back from the dead there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. You know, it's kind of tough. There's so many arcs along with Superman. I think that it's kind of crazy at this point that we still haven't seen Brainiac in a movie against Superman. Like, we've seen Lex Luthor. We saw the Jesse Eisenberg Lex Luthor, which was just weird.
Yeah.
You know, we've obviously seen Zod multiple times.
Yeah, and we've seen Doomsday. But all of those were kind of swings and misses, minus Zod, which he did pretty good.
Yeah, he was cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, I agree with you. Brainiac would be a really cool...
Yeah, I think that a cool, like, Doomsday, but, like, do the actual, like, the death of Superman.
Yeah.
And, like, let it be, like, R-rated. And let it be really, really, like, you know, pretty intense.
Yeah. I think... I am 100% agreement because they've swung and missed so many times with Superman. And I think Henry Cavill, he might not be a great Clark Kent, but he's a great actor and he could be under the right direction.
I think honestly the best thing that they could do for him as Superman is to have him slim down.
Yeah.
Don't bulk up as much.
Hey, calm down, Henry.
Yeah, like he's too muscular. That's why Christopher Reeve was like the best Superman. Yeah. And he wasn't buff. He was fit. He was like lean, kind of skinny, but like not puny skinny. He was just tall and lean. Like, let him slim down a little bit. That way it's more believable when he's Clark Kent and he's got this nerdy side to him. Even Brandon Routh, when he played Superman in Superman Returns, like, I mean, it wasn't a great performance, but his Clark Kent was good.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, there you go.
Henry Cavill unfortunately doesn't have much of a say in getting to do it or not.
Unfortunately not. Well, that's our official state on Superman.
Yeah.
So now you know.
Yeah. We got to talk about Battinson, which is what I've started calling Robert Pattinson's Batman. We had Batfleck, now we have Battinson.
Battinson's good.
But he might wear this is a quick little bit of information. He might wear his gray and blue suit with the white eyes. I'm stoked about that.
That has me nothing but excited.
If he's got the gray and the blue with like the yellow on his chest, but they make it kind of dark and like more of a navy, deep grays and stuff, man, that gets me pumped all the way up to the ceiling. I love that.
It would be so cool.
I love that.
I'm excited to see him in any bat suit. Any of them.
Yeah.
But to me, when I think of Batman, I mean, yeah, sure, I think of Christian Bale and everything like that. But whenever I was a kid, I had like 3 blue and gray Batman toys, and like that's just so iconic. Yeah. And to put that into a movie franchise that's so dark and so like serious, and it's kind of a fresh take. Yeah, I'm not saying it won't be dark and serious. I have no doubt it will be dark and serious. Right, but it's a fresh new vision, and I'm so excited for it.
I mean, honestly, the Batman, if anything. The Batman, this movie, is kind of getting away from everyone a little bit.
Yeah.
The casting is getting more and more buck wild. Like, right now we've got Robert Pattinson as Batman, obviously.
Yeah.
Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman.
Officially.
Andy Serkis as Alfred Pennyworth.
Yeah.
We think officially, right?
Yeah, we think.
Colin Farrell as the Penguin, which is still a rumor. Paul
Wild.
Dano as the Riddler. Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon. Like, this movie is getting way far away from us. But if it's The Long Halloween, which is what they're saying they're basing it off of, all of those villains are in the Long Halloween, which makes me excited because in theory I'm assuming they're going to do, and what we've talked about before, is that they're going to take this movie to introduce each character a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then in future films and in the franchise that could become the Batman franchise, potentially have a Colin Farrell, Batman face off for a whole movie, or a Riddler Paul Dano face off for a whole movie.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool that they're introducing this universe, as long as it doesn't get muddied up, as long as it doesn't muddy up the waters. I think it could be a really cool, different way to do a Batman movie.
It's very different, but it's also not different enough to be like, whoa, what are you doing there? So let's kind of break it down and talk about some of the cast. We've already talked about Zoe Kravitz, but we also were pretty stoked on Pierce Brosnan as Alfred.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Andy Serkis?
Andy Serkis to me is what it looks like. I feel like I can kind of visualize how dark the movie is going to be with Andy Serkis as Alfred.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It makes it darker to me.
So Pierce Brosnan, he could have done dark, but anytime
he comes across the screen, it's like it's a little goofy
James Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree, but Andy Serkis
could be great.
He makes it really serious.
It's hard. It's interesting because Alfred, from what we've seen from the original Batman movies, that if you're listening to this and you haven't listened to it, we did a whole Batman movie.
It's a really fun
podcast with my brother, and it was awesome.
Yeah, we talk about all 4 of the original Batman movies.
Yeah. So the original actor who played Alfred in those movies was a great comic book accurate Alfred. Yeah. His name is Michael Gough, who played Alfred in the original movies, the original 4.
Yeah.
He was a great comic book accurate Alfred. And then you have Michael Caine, who brought a lot of
kind of realness.
A lot of realness and a lot of genuine like emotion and fatherhood and kind of pride in who Bruce Wayne was. Kind of that elder caretaker, like he had a lot of heart to it.
To me, Michael Caine was more of a Batman's anchor into sanity.
Right, right.
Bruce Wayne,
he kept him on Earth.
Yeah, and he was the one who would always tell him like, "You're being ridiculous. You're only a man.
Right.
You need to settle down." I think Andy Serkis would just poke the barking dog, and he'd be like, "You can hit harder."
Right. It'll be different. It'll be different, but that's a good thing, especially if, because they have a lot of Alfred backstories, and there are Alfred Pennyworth comic books where
now it's
they
a TV show.
Yeah, how he was in like the Queen's Army. There's almost like a Kingsman, Alfred Pennyworth story.
Yeah. Which is definitely worth checking out.
And where, in theory, he teaches Bruce Wayne a lot of, initial combat and a lot of initial, how to investigate and stuff.
The way
like that.
I see Andy Serkis taking this role of Alfred is basically the same Alfred from the Gotham TV series. Uh-huh. He was kind of like, he had a military background, and then he was the one who initially taught Bruce Wayne his basic knowledge of fighting. He obviously then went to train with Ra's al Ghul. I don't know if he did in the TV show, but all right. So Andy Serkis, we talked about him. I'm on board.
I think it's cool. I'm on board. I'm gonna be. It's a loaded cast right now. And the boat's getting really heavy.
Yeah.
But it's not sunken yet. Like it feels like, okay, we can't fit many more into this. Yeah. But I am gonna be bought into this movie, even if we see first initial looks and it looks horrible.
Yeah.
I'm going to be bought in because it's Batman, and I am who I am.
Honestly, I honestly wish we were different people, and I was like, no, if it looks bad, I'm gonna. But honestly, I'm so excited for another Batman movie.
For me, it's like at the end of the day, it's Batman.
I will
and
see
it's
it
a Batman
twice.
movie, and Batman's like my top 3. You know?
So, what do you think about Colin Farrell? Do you want to talk about him at all?
Man, I don't know.
I honestly am undecided.
I don't know.
This.
I think Colin Farrell's great.
He is a terrific actor.
he's been trying to latch himself onto a franchise for a minute. He tried to latch himself onto the Wizarding World franchise, he did a good job in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
I think his character was more interesting than Johnny Depp's character.
I agree. I wish that they would have kept him on instead of bringing. Swapped. I wish they would have just had him be Grindelwald, but just have white hair. Just be the same guy, just have white hair and a weird eye. Like, I thought Colin Farrell was way better casting for that character than
Johnny
Depp was. Johnny Depp's not really a hot commodity these days.
No.
He's kind of a one-trick pony.
But now, out of all the Batman villains, he's going to be the Penguin. Supposedly, he's not confirmed, but he's heavily rumored.
Right.
What in the world?
I think it's interesting.
I think it's interesting too. I think that he's going to be I don't think he's going to get really big. He has gotten big for roles before.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be either. I think he's going to they're going to kind of take a gangster approach to it, where he's a little bit more of a, like the black suit, and he's got the white and the black, and they call him the Penguin.
Nose.
He might have a little bit of a more flat nose.
Yeah.
But I think they're gonna make him more modern and not just this little, potato sack Danny DeVito Penguin.
Right.
I don't think they're gonna give him like weird, fingers like Danny
I think
DeVito
he is a versatile actor, and he can definitely play the part. I would like to see what he's going to look like.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I think they're keeping us on our toes a lot. And then the final bit of Batman casting I would like to talk about is this heavily rumored that Matthew McConaughey is going to be Two-Face.
Gosh, dude, that's where, like I said, the boat's filling up. Yeah. That's where the boat's going to start going down for me. I think it's interesting. I think that could be really cool. Mm-hmm. I think that letting Harvey Dent... We've seen Harvey Dent played as this politician who's just this upright citizen of Gotham, who's kind of the star child of Gotham, and he's the vision of hope for Gotham in the daylight.
Absolutely.
He's what Bruce wants Batman to be if he could, but he can't. And I think Matthew McConaughey could be a very interesting choice if they flipped Harvey Dent into almost more of a crooked Southern politician.
Okay.
He
was already crooked.
He was already crooked, but he's very good at putting out a front of being like this great upstanding guy, but he's kind of this crooked, Texas like politician. Does that make sense?
No, I absolutely get it.
He's got the suit on, but he's almost got like cowboy boots.
Does
that make sense?
Absolutely.
That might be a cool direction.
As big of a Batman fan as I am, I would say probably more.
Maybe.
Because that's like your number one thing.
Yeah, I love Batman.
I love Batman too, but I think it's safe to say. So, do you, as a huge Batman fan, do you see, because in the comic books and in the movies and everything else, Harvey Dent is a straight arrow.
Right.
And until he's Two-Faced and he's been wronged and he's been deformed. And then he's Two-Faced. Then he's crooked. And then he's just flat out, he's a crooked man.
Right.
Do you think it would be cool, or do you think you would hate it if he was already crooked, but then this deformity just showed who he truly was?
I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
I think if this were the first time we were seeing Harvey Dent or Two-Face in a movie, I would say no. But we've had Billy D. Williams, we've had Tommy Lee Jones, we have Aaron Eckhart, who from what we've seen have all kind of played that straight man character.
Yeah.
Obviously, we didn't see a lot in the original movies, in the 90s movies, of that development. We just saw Two-Face flat out crazy.
Right.
But especially with Aaron Eckhart's very upright citizen. And in a lot of comic books, obviously there are a lot of different backstories for Two-Face, but in a lot of them, the acid that burns his face off is what kind of melts his brain and makes him go crazy.
Yeah.
I think that it would be cool to have Matthew McConaughey or whoever plays him play kind of a crooked, two-faced politician already, who plays both sides of the right and the left, and who will do anything to become, the pinnacle, the top politician.
Yeah.
He's not like he wants to be mayor so that he can be, the senator. He wants to be, he wants to move up.
I 100% agree.
And he uses people.
It can be very cool and it's very fresh. We've obviously never seen that in a movie. And if there's a comic book and you know that comic book, then please let us know in the comments, and I'd love to read it.
Me too.
But I think if they're gonna go that route, I want to see that character development where it's like, we know you're crooked, and Batman knows you're crooked,
right?
But I don't want to jump into this movie and we've got 3 bad guys, and he's already like, I always knew you were crooked, but now I really know.
Right.
I would like to see him like, I really don't trust you, and then at the end of the movie, something bad happened to him.
I think the best thing that can happen for the Batman, and I feel like every time we talk about this, we talk too long about it. I think the best thing that could happen for the Batman is, if it's not going to be the long Halloween story arc, I think that Paul Dano playing the Riddler and the movie being more of a noir detective kind of crime, a lot more in that vein of clues, and it's kind of almost like a detective movie, you know, like I'd love to see a Batman movie that's very similar to how we've seen the Sherlock Holmes movies, you know, where it's a lot of clues and a lot of, you know, dusting for fingerprints, and you know, not literally, but you know what I'm saying.
No, I get you. A detective
I'd love to see the detective Batman side, where there's a couple cool scenes where he really fights,
beating people up,
but at the same time, you get to see a lot more of his genius. Because you see that a little bit in the Batman movies, the Christopher Nolan movies, but at the end of the day, he's just a growling, gruff, you know, Batman. So I'm excited about it. I'm on board with it until I'll probably be on board with it. Even when it does come out, if it's a major flop, I'll probably have good things to say about it.
I agree.
I'll find the silver lining.
We're gonna have to cut this Batman cord. We're gonna have to cut it. We can go all day about Batman.
We're nearing the end of the podcast. I think the last thing that I do want to talk about, to kind of round us back around, is just Disney Plus as a whole. Do you think that Disney Plus, there's a lot of people who I was seeing on social media who are like, well, goodbye Netflix, it's all about Disney Plus. I don't think that's the case. Disney Plus is great because Disney has a lot of great stuff, but I don't think Netflix is going anywhere. I don't think Hulu or Amazon Prime are going anywhere yet, because as great as Disney Plus is, once the nostalgia wears off, we're going to go back to watching The Office on Netflix. We're going to go back to Can't Wait for Stranger Things. We're going to go back to watching The Boys or watching Watchmen on HBO. We're going to go back to those things. And then all that Disney Plus eventually will have outside of nostalgia is
The Mandalorian,
more shows,
the Marvel shows.
Yeah, the Marvel shows, the Lizzie McGuire show, stuff like that.
Here's where it gets kind of heartbreaking for your wallet is everything is still relevant. Literally every streaming service has its own thing.
Right.
Whether you like Jack Reacher on Amazon Prime or The Boys on Amazon Prime.
Right.
Like there's still enough there, and I've already got Amazon Prime. The way that it stays relevant is it comes with a shipping service. Like it comes with
Amazon's safe.
Amazon is safe. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
And then Netflix, they have actual they've gotten to the point where they can make good movies and TV shows.
They're a studio.
Yeah, like they genuinely make good movies.
Right.
And they give good stories, and especially in these days
to me at this point, Netflix is no different than any broadcasting network.
Right.
Like a television channel.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. And it's saved good television shows.
It did.
Because when's the last time you watched an NBC original?
Right.
Like nobody watches cable anymore. And this is where genuinely good TV shows come out. Like Stranger Things,
Right.
The End of the Effing World has a new season, and it's really good. And they have
Even shows like House of Cards and I mean the list goes on Netflix. They have great original shows.
They're not going anywhere. And here's the thing about Disney Plus that's kind of not scary but interesting. Disney Plus is not showed to make a profit until 2023.
Right.
That's 4 years.
Right.
Because they're pouring so much into their
production.
shows. And
they're playing catch up.
Yeah, and not everybody's not the everyday man who didn't grow up on Disney Channel shows or Disney nostalgia or anything like that. They're going to keep Netflix because they have good stuff, original stuff.
They're bought in.
And right now, if it weren't for The Mandalorian, which they didn't launch until they had The Mandalorian, which was very smart. If it weren't for The Mandalorian,
and the promise of
right, and the promise of Marvel, TV
WandaVision and
yeah, the not a bunch of people, like 10 million people subscribed to Disney Plus in the first week,
right,
and that's pretty incredible. 10 million people, but that's still like they're not on track to make a profit until 2023, which is crazy. But then the bad thing is all their Marvel shows that are coming out, they're going to be essential to watch if you want to get the next movie that's going to be theatrically released.
Right. That's dirty. It's a dirty game.
It's dirty, but like they're doing what they got to do to make money.
Yeah. But I don't think I disagree with anyone who's saying like Disney Plus is like I'm canceling all my other. There's a lot of hype behind Disney Plus, but it's not the end all of streaming.
No, the heartbreaking thing for your wallet, that is, but for your mind, it's great. Everything's going to be relevant. Yeah. Everything is still relevant.
Yeah. And the other problem with Disney Plus is there's a lot of technical issues that they're still going through.
A lot. Opening day was a nightmare.
Streaming on Disney Plus is no cakewalk right now. Not only that, but there's very basic things that Disney Plus doesn't have. They don't have a continue watching section on Disney Plus.
How
so if you've been binge
that?
watching Even Stevens, like I have,
right? Me too.
Then once you log off and log back on, you have to go back and search Even Stevens or go back to your saved.
And then it doesn't show like a progress bar where you are.
You've
got to
remember
which episode.
So stuff like that is like Disney Plus is still behind. They're not succeeding in this.
They're not there yet.
They're succeeding in their content.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian is super cool.
Excellent.
Honestly, I've watched a good bit of their shows just out of basic interest. The Imagineering show is awesome. It's kind of a documentary about Disney World. Yeah. It's great. Like I said, The World According to Jeff Goldblum is great. Encore is very fun, which is like a reality show. Yeah. There's a lot of real fun stuff going on. Like I said, Noelle was a great little first movie to throw out there.
Yeah.
It wasn't their biggest thing, but it's good. But it's not the end all. And the other thing that I think is going to keep Disney back is that their shows are not binge watch shows.
Right.
Like there's something about the world that we live in that still loves instant gratification.
Right.
If they would have released Disney Plus and had all 10 episodes of The Mandalorian available, we would have watched all 10 of them together. You know?
It would have been a great night. It would have been great.
It would have.
But also, it's just so satisfying to a week's worth of anticipation.
Yeah, and I like that. I like the anticipation, but I'm saying that's how it doesn't compete with Netflix. Because once Stranger Things comes out, we're all gonna binge it, and nobody's gonna watch Disney Plus that night. You know?
Right? Yeah.
So there's pros and cons to both. I think Disney Plus is awesome, and I just we love Disney movies. Like, it's great, but I don't think it's competing with Netflix.
I think eventually they're gonna start dropping full shows, full seasons all at once.
I think they should,
but they don't have the content to be like, if you want more originals, then keep subscribing.
Right.
But since you're only subscribed for The Mandalorian, which everybody in the world is, if they would have dropped all 10, they would have just paid for 1 month and left.
Right. I get it. Yeah, and it makes sense.
It does.
But it's good to space it out because they could have easily waited on Disney Plus until they had, when Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and they had Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah.
But it's good because all the Star Wars fans came for Mandalorian.
Right.
All the MCU fans are going to come for WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
The Loki show. The Loki Hawkeye show.
Like, all the Marvel fans are going to come out for that. All of the millennials who were watching Disney Channel in the late 90s and early 2000s are going to come for Lizzie McGuire.
Right.
So it's good that they're spacing it out because they're going to just rake in, a couple million here, a couple million there. So that's good.
Here's what the best part about all these streaming wars are.
What's that? It gives us job security.
It gives us, we will never run out of topics.
I know.
And you will never get bored.
I know.
I'm excited.
Yeah. And luckily we're not, I'm thankful that we decided early on, like, let's make this show just about everything. Let's just talk about everything because that's what we do anyway.
Right.
It would have been so much harder if we just, God bless the Rex and Around boys. But man, I can't imagine. That'd be tough. I couldn't do what they do. They're brave, man.
They are, and they're brilliant.
They're brave and they're brilliant for sure.
So this whole thing is about everybody pitching in and everybody if you like something, let us know and we'll talk about it. Did you want to do did you see the emails that we got?
No.
We got 2 emails from fans.
Let's hear them.
Pretty bonkers.
Let's talk. Let's answer some emails.
All right. So
real quick.
Honestly, this one is, let's see. This one is from Terrence McWade.
All right.
And
Shout out to Terrence.
Yeah. It's from October 28th. We're really late. We're almost a month late. I'm sorry, man.
We're answering you now, Terrence. What's up?
It says, hey, guys, I have a date coming up with a girl. And yes, that is a minor brag. It's our 3rd date, and she's pretty special. You both are married, so I would guess that you know how to impress at least one member of the opposite sex.
Nope.
We just tricked him.
Kind of.
One member. He says, so, yeah.
At least one.
Not assuming anything, just saying.
Yeah.
But you definitely seem to know what you're talking about when it comes to movies and films.
Yep.
I say all that to say this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to her house because she wants to watch a movie that I like, but most movies that I like are not known for females enjoying them. Can you guys give me a few suggestions on what movies are good movies to show a girl on a date?
I can.
Not quite rom-coms, but also well-regarded and quality movies that everyone loves.
Oh, boy. What a great question.
What a good question.
Yeah.
Let's knock off Star Wars.
Let's knock off Star Wars. MCU. Let's knock off MCU. Let's just do a good one film.
Yeah.
Let's make it interesting.
Okay.
Let's keep it under R rating, so not R rated.
Just PG-13.
PG
okay.
or PG-13.
That does make
perhaps.
it really interesting.
Maybe even G. I mean, you can't. Here's the thing. Can't go wrong. This is. I'm not saying this because you're a film buff, but you can't go wrong with a good Pixar movie.
You can't, but
it's not going to get it's not going to get you the cuddles you're looking for, my man.
If Terrence is, and she asked for a movie that he liked,
so he wants to come in swinging with a good film,
like a Oscar-nominated film, like a film. It's not a movie.
But it's
a film.
Yeah, but we're not watching Pulp Fiction.
No, we can't.
I know.
That'll drive him away.
I know.
Any Quentin Tarantino's off the table. It's too violent. It's too much language.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it is rated R. This movie is rated R, but it's also not rated R, like in your face rated R. Yeah. It's not going to make you feel bad that you're watching it if you feel bad about that sort of thing. Baby Driver.
Okay.
Because it's Edgar Wright, so it's got that Edgar Wright charm. But it's not like a manly heist, violence, and dark and deep and depressing movie. It's a fun kind of thriller heist movie about. Well, he's a kid going through trying to repay his debt to a mobster, and he's a getaway car driver, but it's still fun and light. There's got a love story in it, but it's not over the top rated R language and violence and everything like that. It's just a good story.
Yeah. You know what a fun movie might be is maybe like a Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah, but that's pretty weird.
It is weird, but it's a good, fun movie.
It is.
If she likes you because you're into movies, then that's one of those movies that's very visually appealing. It's very well directed. It's very well made, and it's a fun story. It's definitely in the realm of like weird indie movies, right? But Absolutely. At the same time, that's what she's asking for.
It depends. This woman and we don't.
Right.
And if she seems like the type of girl who wants to sit down and watch a fun movie that's kind of goofy, then I'd say that because it's a pretty goofy movie. Yeah. It's strange, and you're never going to see another movie like it.
Yeah.
But it's a great movie regardless.
Sure.
Let's give them one more suggestion each, and then let's move on. We have one more question.
Oh, boy. Okay. Man, you know what another good movie might be?
Tell me.
Big Fish.
The Brad Pitt movie?
No, Big Fish with Ewan McGregor, the Tim Burton movie.
I haven't seen it.
It's like a fantasy movie, Ewan McGregor. You've never seen Big Fish?
I've never seen Big Fish.
You need to watch it with your wife and tell me if it works or not.
Okay,
I think Big Fish would be a great movie because it's kind of a fantasy movie. It's got a lot of heart. I think that would be a fun, it's a beautifully made movie. Another one that I think might be a lot of fun if you're into musicals is La La Land.
I was thinking about La La Land too.
La La Land is the first movie that my wife, when we were dating, that was the first movie we saw in the movie theater together on a date.
We saw the
The fart? The fart what?
The Fault in Our Stars.
You saw the fart in our stars.
It might as well have been. That was a terrible first date.
And here's the
movie.
thing. And here's the thing, because we both love movies so much, you'll appreciate this. On our first movie date, we had two options, and it was either La La Land or Lego Batman movie. And I knew this is going to be like our movie.
Yeah.
Like this is going to be the movie that every time we see it, we think about our first date.
And La La Land is such a good movie.
And La La Land was the movie. And it was great. I vote La La Land.
I would say La La Land.
I vote La La Land, Terrence.
If you're not a musical guy, it really doesn't matter because it's a good story.
It's a good love story.
It's a good love story.
It makes you feel love.
Cinematically beautiful.
She'll scoot over to you during the City of Stars. She'll scoot over to you and you can just sit on the couch, maybe get her head to rest on your shoulder.
Oh, it'd be real sweet.
Yeah, it's a real
By this
sweet
point,
movie.
you're probably on your 6th date. Hopefully. Yeah. If not, show it to your next girl.
Watch La La Land,
Watch La La Land.
If you want like a good comedy, weird kind of movie, I'd say Scott Pilgrim. If you want a good fantasy movie, I'd say Big Fish.
I'm going to say my number one pick's Baby Driver because it's still...
Baby Driver's a fun...
It's a solid movie.
More,
lighthearted.
Yeah. And that's a good filler, kind of with what I'm saying. That's a little bit more of a lighthearted, has some action, some intensity to it.
And you know how maybe you're not comfortable with rated R movies, but if you are, give it a shot. It's good. It's a good one. Okay, and now we've got one last one from a woman named Kylan Anderson.
Thanks for writing
Kylan. She says the subject line is, "Are you guys dead?"
No.
I will officially confirm his statement. We are not dead.
I'm not.
I am now emailing you on week 3 since your disappearance.
Uh-oh.
You have vanished without a trace. Is there a reason? Has anyone done this to you?
Has anyone done
Did
this
your
to
wives kill you and make it look like a disappearance? This being said,
no.
Hit me with your best vanishing/murder mystery movies.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Oh, man. The Prestige.
Oh, that's so good. I take it back. That's an answer to both questions. It's a good date movie and it's a good murder mystery.
Oh, man. What was the question? I'm sorry.
that was the question.
Right out of left field.
But it came out with, I can watch rated R movies too. So please come back. Thanks, boys.
The Prestige. Check it out. If you haven't seen The Prestige, that's a great movie.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Because
I felt that one in my bones.
So, like, Gone Girl's good, but it's not as good as The Prestige.
Good. Prestige is
it.
No, that's a great movie.
Let's end this podcast.
The Prestige. Yeah, thank you for that question. That's awesome. We have been gone for 3 weeks.
We have been.
Braden, where have you been?
Well, you saw. I've been here.
You've been here. Yeah, we just been busy, man. Life gets crazy.
Honestly, it has been just very busy.
Yeah.
But honestly, we've missed this podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. I can say for me, I needed to take a couple weeks to focus on my band and my music. My band released an EP and we played we had to do some rehearsing and we had to play some shows. I went
out of town for a couple weeks or a couple weekends. But no, I would absolutely say, and he's not plugging it, I'm going to plug it. You should check out his EP, My Mansion, a separation of church and state of mind.
Yes.
It is brilliant and they're even better live.
Yes.
So I would say check it out.
Yeah.
Apple Music, Spotify.
And follow us on Instagram at My Mansion Music.
You won't be sorry. It's great.
Please do. And check out our EP and message us or email us and let us know what you think of it. Hopefully it touches you. It's very heartfelt music.
Yeah, it's
especially
very raw.
The lyrics.
Yeah, absolutely.
So please check out my band. That's where I've been.
That being said, thank you guys so much for listening. You should check out some of our other videos. We are starting to do many videos of reviews of movies because honestly, podcasting is such a long video. Some people just want the meat. Some people just want the review of a movie we've seen.
I get it.
I do too. So we're going to start releasing movie reviews, TV show reviews
on our YouTube channel.
On our YouTube, same channel.
So if you listen to our podcasts on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, head on over to our YouTube and subscribe to it. We've got some reviews that we're doing of The Mandalorian. We've got a Dr. Sleep review that's going to hit YouTube.
Knives Out coming real soon.
Yeah, there's going to be a Knives Out review. There's going to be a Frozen 2 review.
Yeah.
So please check out our YouTube for some movie reviews. And anything else?
No, that's about it. If you would be so kind and gracious,
give this video a like,
Yes.
share it to a friend, subscribe to us, follow us on Apple Podcasts, do whatever you want to on Spotify. I think it's follow, right?
Yeah, it's follow. I think.
Give us a review on Apple Podcasts. We would love some more reviews.
Yes, please.
Yeah, give us some more reviews. Tell us
That'd
what you
be
think.
awesome.
Tell us any other movies that you would like to watch on a date, or your favorite murder mystery movies.
Also, if you're a fan of this podcast and you want to listen to another podcast, I have another podcast called That One Time, which I do with a friend of mine who we did a lot of comedy things together.
It's so good.
And we just have a podcast where we just tell stories. And
it's amazing.
We've had a long hiatus away, but there are new episodes coming soon. So please check out That One Time. It's an anecdotal comedy podcast. I haven't said that in a long time, but please check out That One Time, and we're going to do some more episodes.
That's one pop culture bit of news that I did not know, and I am so excited.
And they're very fun, and it's just kind of storytelling about crazy things that have happened in our lives, and my co-host on that show is a very, very fun and crazy storyteller.
We should have him on the show.
We should. I think that would be great.
Absolutely.
He would be a wonderful, and he's a huge movie fan.
Why haven't we done this already?
He'll be next. Christian, you're next. But you can follow me on Instagram at the David Smith Jr.
You can follow me at Tonus Braden. That's Tonice. It's a real name. It's my name.
Yeah.
Get over
your dad's name.
And my grandfather's name.
And your grandfather's name. Follow us on Instagram at PODZILLA. And please email us more questions.
Those were fun.
These questions were exactly what we wanted. Movie-related questions, advice about movies, what kind of movies you should see, what kind of movies you should watch with your parents, what kind of movies you shouldn't watch with your parents, what you should watch on a first date, what kind of movies you should watch with your in-laws for the first time, things like that. We love to answer all. They don't have to be relationship-centric, but
all of which are very important.
We'd love to answer all of your movie questions.
We have vast pop culture and movie knowledge, which is why we have this. So thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you guys next time.
Yes.
We don't know what the topic is. We're 3 weeks behind, and we just got caught up. So cut us some slack. Either way, we're stoked to be here, and we're stoked to hear what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for listening. Like, subscribe, do whatever you want. Thank you so much.
And remember, re-elect Mayor Goldie Wilson. We'll see you next time.
Good one!